South Dakota. And former U.S. Open champion, the only man to ever score a perfect 11-0 in the finals of a U.S. Open, Mr. Corey DEUEL.
Didn't
We're
Wade?
going to play 50 games. We're going to take a break for 45 minutes. The game is 10 ball, rack your own, no jump cues. And we're going to, first one to get to 50 tonight, we're going to break. We're going to come back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central Time, and finish the set. We have some sponsors for this event. Play BCA,
Okay.
BCA Pool Leagues, Mr. Mark Griffin. Helped us out a lot. We're also sponsored by Diamond Tables. As you can see, they're playing on a beautiful Diamond 9-foot Pro-Am. And we'd like to thank Mr. Greg Sullivan for that. The rules we're going to be playing are, as I said, rack your own. The 10 ball, if it's made on the break in the back 2 pockets, will spot. It doesn't count. No jump cues and cue ball fouls only. So I'm ready if everybody else is. We'll get this started. Shane's already won the lag. So thank you all for coming. And oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot the most important thing. Our commentators for the evening, Mr. Billy Incardona and Mr. Grady Matthews. I'm sorry. We've got them hidden in a booth back here where we can't see their beautiful faces. And they're easy. So I'm going to turn it over to these 2 fine guys, the best commentating duo in the history of pool. Thanks everybody for coming. We're going to have a hell of a time.
Good luck, guys. Play good.
Well, I guess we're live now, Grady, and if we weren't live before, I'll mention how the actual the way the game's being played here. It's 10 ball. We're going to be racking with the 2 and the 3 on the corners. No jump cues. 10 ball on the break, and one of the bottom pockets will be respotted. The player that makes it on the break will respot it, but he continues to shoot. Cue ball fouls only. Shane won the lag, and like you said, you know, he has the advantage in the breaking area for sure.
A lot of people think he has the best break in the world at 8 ball, certainly, and at 10 ball also. He stops the cue ball in the middle of the table and amazing about 90% of the time when he's playing well, as he seems to be at this moment.
But the break shot is like any other shot. You have to like getting stroke on it. For the first couple breaks, he might not be able to do that, but when he finally does, you know, getting stroke on that break shot, he will be stopping the cue ball near the center of the table a high percentage of the time. This is rack number 1, a race to 100. Doesn't seem like anything's gone in. No,
he came up dry, and Corey has a nice shot on the 1 ball. And the 4, well, had no problem. The 5 is by a pocket. I was going to say the 4 to the 5 is the only problem I see with this rack.
The 4 is really snuggled really behind the 7, the 6, and I believe the 8 on that upper right-hand rail. Therefore, if there's any problems out there, like Grady mentioned, it'll be from the 3 to the 4. The 5 position closer to the bottom right-hand corner pocket. So if he gets online for the 4.
Well, the 3 lays pretty good to get position on the 4 ball with. He can get almost straight in, and then he pocket on the 3 ball, and getting position on the 4 ball is pretty much a foregone conclusion.
This is a very important shot in this first rack, the 2 to the 3, like Grady said. If he gets the right angle off the 3 to drop nicely for the 4.
Well, how many times in the past have we talked about early winning the first game is big?
Very big, very big.
You get the momentum and you relax a little bit.
It seems like he's a little off angle here. He may have to use that bottom cushion.
Right,
and
he'll
go
go
back
to the
up.
rail and back up. Well, I didn't expect him to go that way. I thought he had a natural route to use no English pretty much. He snookered himself. You can't quite see.
No, the cue ball really finally came to rest in back of the 6.
He's going to have to go rail first and try to make this ball. A little bit of left-hand English. Wow, I didn't expect that. He got in trouble putting that inside English on the ball. I really didn't think he needed to do that. Now here's a great shot for a young shot maker. Where do you play this, in the corner or the side?
Well, I think he's going to play it in the corner. In the side, very risky shot.
Right, and he runs into the 9 possibly, possible scratch.
This is a tester for his first shot.
Well, there's a possible scratch cross sides. Got to be very careful here.
Not the type of a shot that he really wanted to have stepping to the table for the first time. Let's see how well he does with it. He overcut it, but the cue balls continued to roll, and like you said, possible scratch cross side.
It just
Good
laid
call.
badly, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Wasn't the type of a shot that I would want to step to the table with for my first shot, and obviously he wasn't that comfortable on it as well. Duel now steps to the table for the second time. This time he has ball in hand, and the ball's lying fairly well on the table.
Yeah, Corey's a little fortunate to return to the table with such a good shot after an inadvertent, unforced error. He'll just try to get straight in the corner. And he'll play position for the 7 ball in the side pocket.
I love the way Corey finesses balls and the nice soft stroke that he has. And that'll really prove to be really valuable here on this diamond table. It's a very quick table, fast table. So therefore, you really need to have a nice soft stroke.
Well, he has
to
quite
play
the
well.
pocket billiard pedigree anyway, my friend. I mean, he learned to play pool from Jimmy Karras, Jimmy Fusco, and people like that around Philadelphia, so his basics are rock solid. I might just play the 9 ball down the long rail here. Oh, he's going to follow it out with right English. Like that. Nice shot. And just like this, it is preparing to be 1-0 Corey duel. I want to talk about where we're at. We're at Lucky's, downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Owners Chuck Moss and Jason Froling, and they've rolled out the red carpet for the visiting pool dignitaries this week. And the commentary and the filming of this contest are brought to you by the Action Report. The principals there, Justin Collett and Chad Pullman.
And you really have to like what they're doing here, Grady, with all this internet stuff going on here, and everybody out there can, just get in front of their computer and take a look at all this fine action here in South Dakota. And I think it's really going to catch on because they have the ability to do it right, and also they have the ability to get, as we see, the finest players in the world. So I look for a lot of good things happening here.
I think the idea is really good. Chad told me that a group of friends, he and some friends, were sitting around, and one of them said to the other, why don't we provide some action reports, to let people know what's going on in the gambling world, and an occasional tournament or ring game, and so far it's panned out nicely. Let's look at the patented Corey duel 10-ball break. Well, he's using a medium speed. That surprises me.
And he kind of like punched the break a little bit there.
Right.
He really didn't stroke it. And the cue ball came straight back. He was fortunate to pocket the 1. He's got a long shot on the 2 with the 3 position near the upper right-hand corner.
Well, you know
pocket.
what I do with this shot, Bill? I'd play position to bank to 3. I just float the cue ball down to the end rail, and I either make it and have a nice angle to bank it. To go 2 rails and get position on the 3, you have to hit it too hard.
I really like your thought there, Grady, because it really makes that particular shot on the 2 ball play a lot more easy.
Right.
Than you would if you played position for the 3 in the upper right-hand corner pocket. All you had to do then was to cinch to 2, hitting with a nice cinch stroke going down the table with the bank to 3, which wouldn't be that difficult of a bank, and then which carries also natural position for the 4.
Now, do you like Shane playing the combo here? He's a young, aggressive player with much shot-making skills. I would think that would be the thing to do. He doesn't want to play some kind of safety early on here.
No, he's a very aggressive player and a very confident one as well, so therefore I look for him to play the 2-6 combination and hit it well. There you go. That's the early game jitters that you refer to in other television.
Absolutely,
early
sure.
game jitters. You really have to get that first game under your belt.
Do you like using a touch of right English and going on the upside of the 4 ball? That's what I like, and just trying to get straight in on the 3 ball. You just float this in with a little right English and go 1 rail gently above the 4 like this. That's
Very
beautifully
nicely
done.
struck, and that's exactly the way he saw it as well. The 4 ball, he may have a little bit of a problem unless it doesn't. If it doesn't pass the 6 into the lower right-hand corner, no, he has to stretch here or at least get the bridge.
Yeah, he's going to use the bridge,
And then the angle that he has seems a little awkward to play position for the 4. It seems rather straight on it.
he is. So what he could do, though, he can draw it out between the 8 and 9, I think. Let's see. I think he can cut the 3 a little to his left and bounce it off the rail for position in the side pocket. No, he elected to.
Yeah, you see, he really didn't have that angle.
He was straighter in than I
yeah,
thought.
he was awkward. Yeah, he was straight in. And then he got brushed with this, the cue ball brushed to 7 and sent the cue ball actually almost behind the 6. Now he had to come with a pretty tough shot. Not only that, look at the position of the 5. The 7 blocks the right-hand corner pocket here. So therefore, he has a lot of work in front of him here.
Well, you called it, Billy. Tough shot.
Shane steps to the table with the 4 hanging, but notice once again, this 7 does block the pocket for the 5 if he wants. He cannot shoot in the little.
Well, he's going to
right-hand
have to
corner.
come up and just miss the left side of the 8 ball as we look at it. And I think he's going to have to play position for just to get the cue ball in the middle of the table, don't you?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. He's got his work cut out for him here in playing position for the 5. Maybe just coming up with any type of shot on the 5. Maybe
He doesn't want to get an angle where, as he makes the 5, he has to run into the 7 ball. Oh, that's beautiful to do it that way. Beautifully done.
Yeah, in order for him to do it that way, he had to hit the 4 ball very thinly, and excellent hit.
That was a lot harder than it looked like, folks.
Well, yeah, there's so many times, and when you shoot that shot and you hit the ball too thickly, you end up, down the other end of the table in no man's land. But that wasn't the case here.
Now he'll go over 1 natural rail. Now the rest of these are almost a connected dot. He just come over 1 rail for the 7 ball and try to get roughly straight in on the 8 ball.
Shane's only 24 years old, and at his young age, he's done quite a lot.
He sure has.
And he's one of the most feared 9-ball players in the world today.
Well, you talked earlier, while we thought we were live and we weren't, about his family's won 18 state and national team championships. And that's pretty interesting. And I mentioned that he won't have to do it like I did. When I went to the pool room, I told my dad I was going to the library.
No, his family's well versed in pocket billiards. There's no question about that. This is game number 2. Shane Van Boeing at the table, looking to tie it up at 1 game apiece. Race to 100. We got a long way to go.
Yes, we do. Now, the Filipinos have a way of racking the balls to play the 10-ball ghost. And I'll talk about that further in a few seconds. But anyway, to the uninitiated, when you play the 10-ball ghost, you get the break and ball in hand. And to win 1 unit, you must clear the entire table in rotation. They have a way of racking the balls for 10-ball where 5 lowest balls are at one end of the table, the 5 highest balls are at the other. And I'm wondering if Corey's not doing that. Let's see if he racks them the same way about every time.
Well, that's very interesting. And then they can actually control the balls off of the break.
Right.
Providing they hit it with a certain speed or...
Yeah, medium speed, which that's the way he hit his first break shot. And if you look at Joe Tucker, who's a racking genius, he has a way of racking the 9 balls, if you're racking for your opponent, where it's very difficult to get out. You have to go from side to side, from end to end. Now this time...
He struck the break extremely well that time. The cue ball would have stopped in the center of the table had it not been struck by another ball. But in the meantime, he pocketed 2 balls on the break, and he's got a pretty nice shot on the 1. Yeah. The next ball he'll be shooting after the 1 will be the 3, which is positioned to the right of the 1 ball.
Yeah, and he's looking here, Billy. I think he's got to go up above the 4 ball here. I don't see any other way to do it. A nice high ball, maybe a smidgen of right English. And you'll float gently like this above the 4 ball. Nicely done. Now this one, all he really has to do is make it and come back up in the middle of the table anywhere, and position on the 5 ball will be a foregone conclusion.
He would like to end up straight on the 5 ball to play position for the 6.
Exactly. Well, he doesn't have to be straight. He can go 2 rails across the table if he gets too much angle. But you're right, straight in would be ideal.
Okay, now he's left himself with an angle on the 4 to fall nicely cross table for position on the 5.
Now, I like hitting this with no English. Easy. Just like that. Beautifully done.
It looks like the speed of the cue ball.
Now, I assume,
That's
without
executed
asking,
perfectly.
that they're playing cue ball fouls only, wouldn't you?
Yeah, cue ball fouls only.
Now here, it doesn't really matter if he gets straight in on the 6 or not. A slight angle would be perfect, but if he's straight in on it, it won't hurt anything. Well, I wouldn't want this much angle. It's possible to hit it a little hard and snooker yourself.
Yep, it is possible, you know, but I don't think that's on his mind right now. I think what he's thinking about right now is, I'm loving my position, I'm out.
Right, of course.
Totally disregarding the presence of the 10 ball. Nicely struck.
Beautifully done, yeah.
And he's got himself a nice line on the 7. The cue ball will then go toward the 8 naturally.
He's going to play position for the 8 in the side pocket, I believe.
No, he'll probably draw back here. We're going to play position for the corners.
Okay.
Lays natural.
Okay, good shot.
You saw the wrong angle.
Yes, I did. Well, I thought he might have
Yeah.
to brush the 10, which he didn't want to do, and he did not have to do that, so he's fine here.
This is rack number 3. Man, Boeing looks very comfortable at the table, at least in this rack. And he's played this rack superbly. And the last time he broke the balls, that cue ball was going to stop in the center of the table. We saw the English on the cue ball, and it looked like it was going to stop, but it got kissed by another ball. But he still ended up with a shot on the 1.
Right.
And took care of business after that.
Yes, he did. And we have one, I don't know, spectator or lover of the cue sports present tonight that's keeping some basic stats. He asked me about the AccuStat way of keeping records, and I imparted to him what I knew, and it's too bad we don't have that exactly like AccuStats does it. Be interesting to see what these boys shoot.
And it certainly would be a very accurate, percentage too. Race
Well,
to 100 games.
I used to use it to gauge my game and how I'm playing. You certainly can see what you need improvement in.
Absolutely. Well, once again, pocketing, I believe, 2 balls on the break. And if he continues to break the balls as well as he has the last couple times he's been at the table, things could be pretty rough for Mr. Duel.
Yeah. Now the 3 ball, I think, passes the 5, and if so, he can use a nice high ball here to get position on the 3 ball. Let's see how he bridges this shot. This is kind of a tough angle to bridge it when you have to bridge over the corner pocket.
But on the diamond table, the pockets are cut so nicely, it's just level with the table, with the rail. So therefore, he's not going to have anything hamper his bridge hand.
That's beautiful.
He doesn't appear like he has much room for this ball, Grady. Our angle,
Well, what he
vantage
does,
point.
though, my friend, when he cuts that 3 ball to his right, it puts a little left English on it, which turns it from right to left, gives him a little bigger pocket. I would play to overcut it and go 2 rails. I don't like trying to kill this. I like going 2 rails straight across.
Increasing the accuracy of the shot.
Yeah, like this. Beautiful.
Yes. He hit a little softly, and he's ended up a little short of the mark here. Now he's going to come with a
Well, he
fairly
does the same
difficult
thing
shot.
from a different angle. 2 rails and get about where the 5 ball spot would be on the snooker table, which is exactly in the middle of the pool table. Only this time I'd use a smidgen of outside English, about as little as I could use. Now the 4 to the 7 might be peculiar if he gets a little bit of a bad angle on the 4 ball. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong ball. I'm thinking he's shooting to get on the 4.
That's the shot. He has to watch out here. He has to watch. You think he's going to be okay, though?
All
Now
right.
he's ended up on the wrong side of the 5, Grady. If there is a wrong side of on the 5, he's ended up on it.
There's 2 ways to do this. He can go 2 rails underneath the 8 with a just above center ball, a smidgen of right English, or he can draw the ball above the 8 and back over across the table, but that's risky.
I think both shots are a little risky. You know, I mean, you know, he's got to play precisely here if he's going to run out. I like going 2 rails underneath the 8.
I do too. It seems to be the best route of least resistance.
But he's got to make sure he controls that cue ball very, very well in terms of speed. Going 2 rails underneath the 8, and he's shooting over those 2 balls, which actually makes this shot play much more difficult.
Yes, it does.
2, now watch out. He's going to be, you know, one looks like he's hit it perfectly great.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine.
Oh, a little too much. I think he's okay.
Well, he can use right English on this ball, played over, cut of the hair, and he'll hit the 10 thinly before he hits the rail, and I think he'll have a nice shot on the 8 ball.
Or he can travel like 3 cushions on this shot with the hair of inside.
That's true too. Like this, good call.
Now he has to be careful with this shot. This is the type of a shot that carries the angle that if he hit it a little bit roughly, the pocket will not accept the ball.
I've been playing with an OB1 shaft, and those people have been so good to me, and I like their product so much, I have to tout it a little bit here. This shot here with inside English and a just above center ball is an absolute hanger. And you come out 2 rails. Just like this, beautifully done.
And that was definitely the intelligent way of playing that shot. There was an option available to him to draw it back for position for the 9 and the side, which reduces the size of the pocket for the 8.
Right. And these Diamond Pro Cut pockets, best equipment in the world, it'll spit it out of there if you're careless with draw. Beautiful, beautiful.
A lot of experience out there for a less experienced player when he shot that 8, by the way. Game number 4, I believe it was. Goes to Van Bowling, and now he leads in this match, I believe, by the score of 3-1. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, we're getting to watch the effectiveness of his break here, Grady. A shot that you alluded to before the telecast. You know, he said, you know what? The break is a big shot in this particular match, and Van Bowling certainly has the best break.
Well, you and I both gave Corey the edge in finesse and experience. But youth and absolute enthusiasm and the power break, you give the edge to Shane.
Right. And I thought that even with the edge, like you said, he had in the breaking area, I thought Corey would still prevail. But you know what?
Well, it's too early to make any kind of prediction. And we pull equally for both guys anyway. I'm just glad to be here in the booth with you talking about these great players in such a great place. You know, I love the Dakotas. I've had fun up here for years.
He's breaking them really well.
Yeah, I got kissed again there.
And now he made two balls once again on the break. He doesn't have a real good shot on the 1, but he has a decision to make here, Grady. He can bank the 1 cross side, but it's really a risky shot. And also playing position for the 2, which is positioned on the other side of the table, is a little difficult in itself. So therefore, he has a very difficult situation to negotiate.
I like playing safe here. I just think it's the highest percentage choice that he has. Now, how you